and we're thriving.
We are surviving,
We're
yes.
thriving and
absolutely.
surviving,
Yes,
yes.
it's amazing.
How did we reunite, Greg? What was the...
Just communication, vacations and, things like that. What would you say?
I would say love. I would say that when you work at something and it works and you are your person, you figure it out.
Yeah.
Didn't Greg take your mom shopping to buy you a ring? Girl, this is not a relationship, more like a long-term fling. You sat in the confessionals making excuses, denying what's true. Greg has already been married and he's just not that into you. You're wasting your time, beauty, and youth. What a shame. He could have at least gotten you a necklace, but this Negro came in with a frame. Let's get into this review. Housewives of Potomac, Season 10, Episode 12. Yes, I'm going to start with Kay moving back in with Greg. If you are single and want to get married and start your family, Kay is a good example of what not to do. Why did Greg take her mother shopping for an engagement ring? Just for you to buy a picture frame. How embarrassing. It could have at least been a beautiful necklace, like I said. And I totally agree with Gizelle. Kay should have never moved back in without an engagement ring and a wedding date. And when Kay was talking to him and he said, well, if you get married, and then she corrected him and said, when we get married, then he said, when you get married. So he corrected the if to the when, but he didn't include himself in the equation. I hope that when Kay watches, she can see and view this in the third person. To me, it's clear this man has no intentions of marrying Kay. He was very dry when he was talking about their future. He couldn't even fake it. And then Kay was in her confessionals splaining. Yeah, we first have to have love. We first have to make sure we're a good match before I get the ring. Girl, you can do that without moving back in with him. It's unfortunate that she's going to waste her youth on this man. And it's not going to be anybody's fault but hers. I just had to start with that. But let's start at the top of this episode. I think Charisse is trying to get back on the show by any means necessary. Her 27-year-old son had a brief fling with Ashley. Who hasn't had a fling with Ashley? The problem with that storyline is many viewers, myself included, don't care about Ashley or who she's flinging with. I could tell that Stacey was annoyed by Charisse's presence. She wasn't feeling Charisse, and Timo wasn't feeling the party. He left the party very early. I wish Stacey would stop forcing him to be on the show. He looks uncomfortable. The cast looks uncomfortable around him. I feel uncomfortable watching him. So he left the party, and I think it should stay that way. I think that should be the last time we see Timo. Don't invite him to any more events, and he doesn't even have to show up for the reunion. Let's talk about Angel, okay? You know what? The women wanting Angel to be broke and evicted is what this little theme is. I don't know why they're trying to say she was evicted. To me, when I think of the word evicted, I equate that to having some financial problems. I equate that to homelessness. I don't think that's the case with Angel. Now, did she move to Potomac to be on the show? I think that is very plausible. When they first showed the exterior of Angel's Rental, actually every time they show it, I have always thought, ooh, that's ugly. Well, correction. I thought, ooh, that is very ugly. And they showed pictures of her Colorado house, and it's like night and day. But I chalked that up to her shopping for a new home. That still could be the case, but something tells me the move was specifically to be on the show. And a lot of these women do things to finagle their way on these shows. Stacey and Kenya had fake relationships to get on the show. The problem is Angel has yet to prove she's an entertaining Bravo housewife. So there's the problem with that. So I'm going to end talking about Wendy's renovations. I wasn't wowed by them. It definitely looked updated and new. I think because she went with the same color palette, it didn't give me that wow factor. And considering how she possibly financed it, girl, that was not worth going to jail. And we find out she's still not satisfied. She immediately starts to talk about the next big project. And Eddie, you know, I hate to say this, but he comes across as the follower in their relationship. He just goes along with it. He doesn't seem to be the voice of reason that I think he should be. And when what's her name? When Wendy's mom has that blow up, I remember she takes Eddie's hand and I think she tells him she needed him to be the man of the house. So that's just interesting that she said that, because when she finds out how they financed these renovations and all of that, it just makes all of that so clear, you know, like he's the follower. But regarding Wendy's dad, listen, I was expecting to see a really old man. I don't know why. To me, her father looks very youthful. I'm not really sure what Wendy was expecting when she brought up her father to her mom. I could totally understand why her mother got upset. Her mother said she has worked 4 jobs to provide for her daughters and to put them through school. So Wendy's mom may never forgive her ex-husband. Wendy may want to keep her relationship with her father to herself. If it brings up this much pain and heartache for her mom, then just don't bring it up. Besides, we all know Wendy has bigger fish to fry. So that's all I have to say about this episode. Those are the things that stood out to me. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like the video, comment, and subscribe.